right. Happy Mother's Day on this cool, crisp morning. And I'm deep gratitude for every mother here who's given creation to a human being. Thank you so much. Today we celebrate your essence. So before we start, I would like to invite our practitioner, Ed Cox. He is holding the light this morning for the service. Thank you for your consciousness. Thank you for your many years of service here at Seaside, Ed. So today, there is a gathering in a park. There was a gathering in the park, and it is canceled. Also, we have a Gourmets for God host sign up in the family room. Just talk with Tasha if you would like to host a Gourmets for God, a dinner, a breakfast, a picnic, and have the beautiful Seaside people at your home. We invite you to talk to Tasha so they can put together a bid in a form for you. Next Sunday, we are going to have the education calendar out in order for you to sign up for classes. And remember, life is good if you are in class. We have a teacher here. Ronit, are you here right now? Oh, she's back there. There's a teacher back there. If you just want to come back here so they can see it, just so we can look at your face and bring a book to see. She's going to be teaching in June. Walk with the Masters, is that what it's called? Yeah, Walking with the Master. So talk with her after the service today. Look at her beautiful face, and she won't be here next week, so we wanted to announce that this week, so unless you want to talk with her. Thank you, Ronit. Steps of the Masters, that's what it's called. Dr. Christian Sorensen is the president of the Interfaith Community, and on May 28th, they are having a Ramadan dinner at the Bethlehem Church. The information is in your Inside Seaside. Dinner will be provided, and donations will be welcome to provide relief for refugees and their development. On May 20th, there is a men's breakfast with a Ray Holder practitioner. They meet at 8 a.m. They have breakfast, and they have a talk around the Science of Mind magazine. They'll have a topic for you to chat about. On May 21st is the Dances of Universal Peace. Those are simple songs and dance celebrating all paths to God, and I host those dances. It's a beautiful spiritual experience, so I invite you Sunday night, May 21st at 7 o'clock. On May 28th, if there is a calling within your soul, your heart, and you only know to be a minister or to be a practitioner, Kim Jarrell will be meeting with you at 12:30. So if you ignore that call, it's going to continue to knock. So I invite you just to get on it right away and meet with Kim Jarrell and to see what the path details. June 11th, there is a wellness group about losing weight. Have fun and lose weight. That sounds good, right? At 12:30. This was Reverend Christine Tillotson. Did I miss anything? I think I got it all. The only thing is we have James Van Prague. And Mar, will you please play the video for James Van Prague? June 30th. So make sure you get your tickets. VIPs are sold out.
It was magical. It was absolutely magical, and I can't tell you how spot on he was, both of them.
I'm here to see James because I like that he's a big bundle of joy and that he has this great connection with Spirit and brings great gifts to people that are truly healing, especially when someone's missing that person, and it's a beautiful thing. So I really enjoy being in that space.
Well, I think anyone who has lost a loved one always hopes that they will be picked out of the audience for a connection and that they will hear the words they want to hear.
I love James. I've read everything he's written. Yeah, he's amazing, and this is my third event. Yeah, I'm really, really excited to see him.
I love what this place does, what Seaside does. I love that you have that kind of outreach, that you could bring someone in with this kind of ability and help people. It's wonderful.
Here, well, this is the second time that I'm seeing James. So what do I think of James? I think he's hilarious. I think he has a gift, and I feel blessed that he's able to share that with all of us, including myself.
A lot of humor. He's definitely a funny guy.
Just an opening to feel the love in the room and the spirit world and see what happens. I have no expectations, and just let's see what happens, have a good time, and be joyous. That's really what it is.
James Van Prague So he has a message for everyone. It'll definitely open your heart and open your soul. So, Seaside, please stand and greet your neighbor as we begin this beautiful morning. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, Seaside. Please remain standing for the congregational song. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Oh, yes, it is. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Come on, Bob. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Yeah, I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Oh, yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home. Oh, yeah. Whole wide world is my home.
Right. That is Whitney Shea. Thank you so much. And good morning, Seaside. Hey, it is a good one. Hey, happy Mother's Day to all you moms that are with us today. It's just a joy to have you celebrating a special day with us here at Seaside. And happy Mother's Day not only to the moms that are, but those that are aspiring to be, or to anyone who's mothered something in their life into expression, or I've even been called a mother a few times in my life. So, you know, it is a joyous day for sure, and I am just grateful to be able to share it with you and just welcome you. You know, Seaside is just a vibrant spiritual community that works for everyone. It's a spiritual nexus that welcomes you wherever you may be on your spiritual path. It is a home, a spiritual community that cares and works on understanding. It is a place without judgment. It is a place where we just truly love one another. And so with that, what we do is we put spirit real high priority in our life, like number one. And so we'd like to start services with prayer, invoking or evoking that presence in our field of awareness. And so we have this wonderful practitioner today, Barbara Banks.
Good morning. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. But please join me in the silence, in the stillness. There is one magnificent universal presence. This presence, this life, this unconditional love, is the essence of all life. Spirit lovingly creates all that is so as to express and experience itself whole, perfect, and complete. There is nothing that can limit or be separate from its action. I am that individualized expression of Spirit. I think with the one mind. That mind is God. That mind is my mind now. And as I know that as a truth for myself, I know that to be true for every person. I know that each person is on their own path to greater awareness. I know that this morning affords us the opportunity to experience and receive in this present moment, as the words of Dr. Christian are planted in the fertile ground of consciousness.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that you are. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know that we are. Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know.
Be still and know that we are God. Thank you very much for that call to worship, Whitney and Max. Good morning, Seaside. And of course, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers who are mothers to humans or to fur babies, or maybe you're a mentor to somebody. I actually belong to Big Brother, Big Sister program, and I have 3 children. And one of them I had for 20 years is having a baby this summer. So we're mothers in many different ways. And even if you're a male, there's a divine feminine within you that's always in creation. So we come together as one in the Sunday morning just to lift you up and just to recognize the power of God in our life. And God always makes our life work so much better. So welcome to Seaside. And if you are new here, we welcome you. There's a welcome packet in the back of the room. And in that packet, there's a CD with Dr. Christian Sorensen giving us the basics, beliefs of the religious science teaching. And I say, if you're new, get inside Seaside. It's the only way to get to know Seaside. Get to know your people. Sign up for Gourmets for God. Come to the Wednesday night services. Wednesday I'll be speaking at 7 o'clock. It's a beautiful candlelight service. So this morning, of course, Dr. Christian Sorensen is going to be talking about the motherly love. And the reading that I have is from Dr. Reverend Dennis Merritt Jones. Let's see. He says, Mother's Day can be an opportunity to celebrate our earthly mothers, thanking and honoring them for the amazing job they did in bringing us into the physical world, using the very principle of the divine feminine to birth us, unconditionally love and nurture us for so many years, and then selflessly launch us on our own spiritual journey into the human experience. No doubt, not everyone had such a happy and healthy relationship with their birth mother, which is why it is important to understand their unique relationship with the creative principle of life, which goes on far beyond personalities. Perhaps equally as important, Mother's Day can be the chance for each of us to consciously reconnect with the principle of the divine feminine within ourselves, which is where the true power of unconditional love resides, waiting to embrace and nurture us. Most of us have heard and agree with the statement that unconditional love is the most powerful force in the universe because it aligns us directly with the highest vibration of the infinite. Celebrate the divine feminine this Mother's Day and notice how loved you really are. So I invite you to close your eyes to go within as I recognize this unconditional love as ever good and ever loving. And I line myself up with the infinite expression of life that's seeking to create itself through itself and as itself. It is the womb of the divine feminine that's always receptive and open to new creativity. And I know that I am all that God is. I am that essence of love and wholeness and divine feminine energy. And as I know that this is within me, I know this is within each and every person here in the sanctuary, opening that womb of love to the creativity and the receptivity of spirit, expressing more good and more love and more joy in each person's life. For I know Christian is that conduit of love as he gives us this talk with soul-to-soul talking. We listen with our heart open and our ears open and our minds open to allow this message to permeate in our lives as we go forth in our next step of our evolutionary process. For I am grateful for this community. I love this community as we come together as one, knowing that we're always growing and expanding in the presence of God as I release my word into the law, knowing that it is done, and so it is.
Well, good morning, Seaside. My name is Whitney Shea, and I'm filling in last week and this week for Miss Rebecca Jade, so I guess I'll introduce myself because I am doing her job and the guest singer's job today, so I get double the fun. But it's always such a pleasure to be with you at Seaside. It's such a wonderful way to wake up, so I don't regret that I had a late-night gig last night because I get to wake up with all of you, so... We've got a wonderful song this morning, and if you feel like dancing and sing along, please do. Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted, don't be shy. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be tough, you gotta be strong, you gotta be harder. You gotta be calm, you gotta be cool, you gotta stick together. All I know, love will save the day. Herald what your mother said. Read the books your father read. Try to figure the puzzles out in your own sweet time. Some may have more cash than you, others take a different view. My, oh, my, hey, hey. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be calm, you gotta be cool, you gotta stick together. All I know, love will save the day. Time has no question, it goes on without you. You never got to save the day. Don't ask no questions, just live if you try to. Love will always find a way. Yeah. Come on, Bob. future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. My, oh my, hey. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be calm, you gotta be cool, you gotta stick together. All I know, love will save the day. That's right. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be calm, you gotta be cool, you gotta stick together. All I know, love will save the day. Tag that now. All I know, love will save the day. One more time, say it with me. All I know, love will save the day. Yes, it will. Thank you, Seaside.
That is Whitney Shea. Love will save the day. What a great message for this day about love. And Mom's love, for sure. I love Mother's Day. I was blessed to have one of those good relationships with Mom. And so on Mother's Day, I love taking out the picture. I have one sitting on my desk of my mom and the family. And there's something about it, the picture on Mother's Day. Like her energy comes through the picture. It just becomes alive. You can feel the vibrancy and the presence. At least for me, there is something. So I encourage you today, take some time with the picture, or if you can't call your mom, and just look at that and just see if somehow there is a connection that goes on there. It's wonderful. So I love thinking about Mom. On Mother's Day, the motherly love is good. My dad taught me about how to enter a room. He taught me about presents. But my mom, she's the one who told me how to be bad and how to be bold and how to be loud and how to be expressive, for sure. And she was a powerful spiritual person. She prayed with power. When she prayed, God said, "Yes, ma'am," to her. And people literally lined up to be able to spend time with her. She used to see 40 clients a week as a spiritual practitioner, and she did that for 30 years. There was always a line of individuals. And so I definitely got that sense from her that whatever's going on in your world, you don't need to be afraid of what is going on. My mom taught me that there are some challenges sometimes in life, and they're not only outside, but you need to face them, whether they're outside or whether they're inside, and that there's going to be obstacles in your path, and you might as well not be one of those for yourself. You know, and so the challenges you're going to face, but love is going to overcome it, and that love is God. It is bringing that presence forward no matter what is going on for you in your life, in your world. And so Mother's Day is a great time to remember some of the gifts that you received from Mom, whether they were intentional or not intentional. You know, as you spend time with her this day, just feel that. I remember, and I may have shared this story, the last time my mom came to visit, Callie and I, we were throwing her and my dad their 45th wedding anniversary. The clan was coming down, for all going to the races for their birthday. And my mom, when she showed up, we built this private room for her with her own entrance. She never went there. She would always come through the front door. She would knock, and then we'd come out, and she'd just be there with this big smile on her face and a bag of groceries, chips, cheese, chocolates, and something for Trevor, and a pillow in the other hand. And it's like, Mom has arrived as Santa Claus or Mrs. Claus, Christmas Day in September. And it was magical. I can remember her sitting on the couch, and Trevor climbing up into her lap in his couch. My dad bought Callie and I for our housewarming present. Callie designed this great purple couch, and Trevor was on her lap. And I just scooted on over to my mom, and I put my arm around her, which is not something I normally do. And I can just remember her looking at me and just saying, "That's nice." And it just made me think so often, how come I hadn't done that so many more times? And so as I think about that, I think about the things I wish I would have said, to my mom had I realized that was her last time, or even leading up to that time in her life. I was so caught up in my world at that point. I'm in my 40s. We'd been here only a year, and all my energy was going into, building and doing that. And I wish I would have been more available to to see or to understand. And I guess maybe at that point in one's life, one doesn't really know what it's like to lose such a dear one. And it was before I'd lost my parents, and after I've lost my parents and friends, I guess I wish I would have said to my mom, gosh, Mom, how tough it must be for your best girlfriend, Jerry, my godmother, who they raised their kids together. She was there before I was. My mom would call her every Saturday morning as long as I can remember and talk to her for hours on Saturday mornings, like, about what? But girls, it was her girlfriend. It was her BFF, right? Like her best friend forever. Not that I knew what that meant then, but it's like, had I only understood what it was like to lose such a dear friend like that, or what it must have felt like every time she looked into her Rolodex. That was before cell phones, but Rolodex, and to see people's names crossed out who are now gone, from her life or from her world. Or I remember at the racetrack that last time saying, Mom, can't you walk a little faster? And not being sensitive enough to realize how frightening it must be to not have your legs working like they once did, and your heart not pumping blood as it did. And I look back and Christmas, the very last Christmas Eve at their house, they had done 45 straight years, and the very last one I missed. I didn't go, and it just sits with me. And I just wish I could still say, Mom, I want to hear everything you have to say. I don't want it to be all about me. I want to hear that pain, the fear, the things that frighten you. What's going on there? But something James Von Prague shares with his audiences is how important it is to reconcile any of those things that are still unfinished for you, because you get to take your unfinished business with you as you leave this world. So it's really good if you finish it up now, and it's really nice if they're still in this world, so you can really work on it. Mom, I'm here for you. I want to hear everything. Share. But you know what? You still can. There is that connection. As I said, the pictures on these days of my mom's birthday, they come alive. There's an energy that enters into that. Whatever's still heavy on your heart, go ahead and speak it. You'll discover how easily the forgiveness and the surrender comes and the peace returns. I hear so often how people want to find inner peace, and when they turn within, what they discover is inner turmoil that's in there. And the same thing for love. They want to find love, and when they turn within, what they find is judgment. That their mind is constantly judging stuff that is out there, and it's hard to find the peace and the love, but they kind of go hand in hand. Because if you can find peace, you tend to be able to discover love is there too. Or if you can find love, you'll move into a place that is peaceful. And so you get to make the decision how you want this world to look. What you want to do with what is. Because what is what is in our world. And you can get upset that it is like that, but that's not really the issue. It's how you're interpreting what is that's going on in your world. And you can take charge of your life and your world, or at least you can choose to have your energy come through. I love the story of the spinster. And she had died, and she was definitely in charge of her life as well as her memorial service. And she made it very clear in writing that she did not want any male pallbearers. She wrote that they didn't take me out when I was alive. By God, they're not taking me out afterwards. So what's going on in your life? You get to take a look at that and decide what you're going to do with that. So my mom said there's going to be obstacles in your life, but don't make yourself one of those obstacles. You can face those challenges. You've all been out to Palm Springs or the desert, where out on the highway you see the mirage that is going on out there. And you've come to discover that you drive, and it's not as if you make the water disappear, right? There was no water. Well, in our life, those challenges, the illusions of a body that may not be working as well, and we try to get through the water or get through the pain or get through it's going on in the physical world, it's the illusion of it, but it is not really the spiritual truth. And so it's not really there other than it is my relationship to what's going on there. And so you get to decide, hey, what's going on there? I'm going to bring my joyous self to it. I mean, that's kind of how I do this world, is with a sense of joy and a sense of well-being. And what I've discovered showing up with this joy and the smile and, hey, how's it going? Life's good kind of attitude. Not everybody appreciates that. Particularly before coffee, if you go to any retreats. But There was this film called Broadcast News. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a great scene of this young neophyte reporter, very excited that he's got a job, he's working in the studios. It's like, yeah, isn't this a great thing? And he went up to the old-time newscaster, and he said, what do I do when my real life is more wonderful than my dreams? The old guy said, keep it to yourself. What's really kind of true is misery loves company. And if you show up with this joyous kind of attitude, you could be infringing upon their real estate. For some reason, there is an investment in the anxiety or in the depression or the sorrow or the sickness, or isn't life miserable, or shouldn't I be living in fear, or isn't this terrible? What is the payoff that people want to continue to hold on to that? I don't know, but what I do know, when you show up and you begin to burst bubbles in that, it doesn't sit well with them. You get to decide, you know what, I'm going to be who I am, and you're not going to be able to take that from me. And you can be miserable, and you can be sorrowful if that's what you want to experience in your life. But I got to tell you, you might as well be bad, and you might as well be bold and a little bit wiser with how you do life, and not let others take that from you. I can remember going into an office building, and I am, kind of outgoing in my sense. If I'm in an elevator, it's a captive audience. I don't take a collection, but I do start talking, But I walk into the office kind of smiling, not quite whistling. I don't whistle, but I go up to the secretary, and she looks at me and says, "What the hell are you so happy about?" It's like, wow, aren't you expression of God? It's like, well, if somebody wants to hold on to their position, by all means, go ahead. But remember, you're the obstacle in your life. You're the one who is interpreting how life is in your experience. You get to decide. And I like to ask people, so what's holding you back from being in love? Love is available all the time, everywhere, with everything, because God is love and it is omnipresent. And that mother's love is going around with you all the time, or that Spirit's love is with you all the time. But what is it that you're doing with it? What are you allowing to move through you in a way that is powerful and right and real? Rajneesh, who's now known as Oso, but he wasn't really Oso when he was around, I don't think, because all his books came out as Rajneesh. But one of the things he talked about is the first wave of love has to rise in you before it can go anywhere else. It's like throwing a stone into a silent lake. The first ripple comes from the stone that goes in the lake, and then it goes on out. Well, that's the thing in our life. The love has to first rise from within. We came into this world, and hopefully for many and most, we're brought into this world with love and excitement and possibilities that exist. And that is the love that gets to be cast out into your life, into your world. And you get to decide, is there going to be space in my life for this kind of experience? Because what happens is we get so caught up with the challenges that our mind gets filled with that which is not necessarily as supportive to the love in our experience. Edgar Tolle says that don't be so full of problems that there's not room for new solutions. Don't be so filled with problems so there isn't room for new solutions. There isn't room for the new to show up in ways in which you haven't experienced. And the way they show up is through your field of awareness. It's your soul voice that is talking to you. And your soul voice is there, and it wants to speak, and it wants to be heard. And if your mind or your awareness is filled with all the problems, and you're not getting yourself out of the way, and you're being that obstacle, and you're not willing to face what's coming on with space for a new idea to come through you, you're going to continue to perpetuate the very thing that you don't want to experience. What you want to do is be able to create the space for your soul voice to speak, and it's actually pretty easy, particularly when you can't hear it. How do you do it? You just turn off all the static. You turn off all the noise. You got that? You turn off all the noise. You want to hear your soul voice? Just turn everything off out there. The fears, the concerns, the worries, the judgment, all that. Just turn it off. Dial it down. Yeah, I get it takes a little practice, but that's what you take time every day. Even just a little time is good. Join us here at Seaside every day, Monday through the course of the week. Noonday meditations. I and all the staff, we stop whatever we're doing at noon. It's just part of what we do here. You've heard me say that. Rose is there every day. We just stop, we pray together, and we sit in the silence for 15, 20 minutes. And we just work on quieting the concerns and creating space in our field of awareness so we can begin to experience the Spirit's download. And how do you know if it's Spirit? I got to tell you, Spirit doesn't judge. So if you think you get in this deep, profound expression saying that person's a jerk, it's not God. That's not how Spirit speaks. It comes from that place of love. It comes from that sense. I mean, how can you be available? James Von Prague, who you guys obviously know by now, is coming to Seaside. We've actually already sold out. We're 6 weeks out, and we've already sold out the VIP. So you want to make sure you pick up your general seating ticket because it's going to be a fabulous event. It always has been, and who knows, he could be calling in somebody from the other side for you. But anyway, he writes in his book, it's his new book, it's called The Power of Love. You can pick it up from our new bookstore person, Lisa Lee. I see you sitting there. We got Lisa Lee running our bookstore. We love you. Thank you for stepping in there. Woo! You got any of these left? Okay, all right. That's good. So if you want one, you can get it. Anyway, so he writes that the more you send forth the energy of friendliness, the more it continues to charge the atmosphere around you and anyone with whom you come in contact. Friendliness mitigates the possibilities of creating negative karmic ties. We're always being present with lessons for our spiritual evolution, and karma is a tool for learning. We can create positive or negative by responding with love or fear, friendliness or irritation. We are all in the world together for support and encouragement. Simply start with a smile. So, start with a smile. You start with the one you're with. So you got somebody in your world, and you drop some love on them. You add a little bit of love and caring and understanding. I just say thank you because what you're doing is we're all connected through love. I mean, this field is a vibration, which it's this huge ocean of spirit that we're interconnected with. And as you begin to love up one person or care about one person, you're adding drops into this ocean of our connectedness. And I get the ocean out here is really big. And adding a few drops, you may kind of wonder what it's actually contributing. But a lot of drops add up to cleanliness or pollution. What kind of drops are you adding to this collective consciousness, this ocean of consciousness that connects us all with this sense of love? Nita Marjani was talking about on the other side, it's like we're all one. There is no differentiation, and we merge into this field of love. What are you contributing in there? And so those of you that are adding the love and the caring and the understanding, I just thank you for your contribution because it is making a difference, because too often people will get caught up in that which they fear. The human mind or the egoic mind, or it has its place, but it also can create challenges in our life. This human mind likes to prepare for the worst. I mean, you know anybody who is just preparing for disaster? Their purse is filled with remedies that they're concerned that the worst thing is going to happen and it's going to lead to, who knows, Armageddon or something. But they live with this sense of edge and anxiety because bad can happen. On the other hand, if you're going with Spirit's mind, instead of this human mind, the Spirit mind prepares for the best that can happen. It's preparing that love just might break out everywhere. Who knows? If everybody starts dropping this stuff into this cosmic sea of our interconnectedness, and they're moving through their obstacles because they realize that I don't need to be the obstacle, and when I remove myself, I begin to love myself, I begin to treat myself as my best friend, wouldn't that be a nice thing to do? Treat yourself as you treat your best friend. You begin to contribute to this emerging consciousness of spirit breaking out everywhere, where the best thing actually could happen to your life, because you're being bad, you're being bold, you're being a little bit wiser here. You're letting just the troubles move down out of your life, out of your world. You're no longer like romanticizing the past. You know, anybody who just lives in the past, they romanticize that past relationship or being in the war or whatever their battle was, or that past job, or those things that are gone by. And as you're busy romanticizing the past, you're avoiding the romance of the present moment. And Spirit shows up in the present moment. And as you romance the moment, you become available for the divine download in your world. You begin to be that place where Spirit shows up. So I want you to know you don't have to wait for a special occasion or Mother's Day or your birthday to be good to yourself. That if you choose to be good to yourself now, that whatever comes your way, whether joy or pain, trauma, that you know that you have something within you, which is Spirit, that's able to face whatever comes your way. And in our life, we do have the problems, the challenges, and difficulties that come our way that are unexpected. But if you choose to lean into Spirit instead of to the fear, because you have chosen to spend your waking hours as much as available to connect with the divine and the possibilities and the smile and the love, that when those challenges show up, they're an opportunity to know something more. And I just recently read this story about this young boy, and you may have read about Nolan Scully a couple months ago. It made all the news for sure. He was a young boy. He was 3 years old when he was diagnosed with cancer. It was a soft cell kind of cancer. And he just captivated the hearts of the town in which he lived. He wanted, like a lot of young boys, they want to be a policeman, or like his dad, he wanted to be a firefighter. And but the town said that he was already a public servant because he was uniting the town together after he got the diagnosis. He went on to fight it for a while and battled it. Mom and Dad took out a Facebook page for him. It was called Nolan Strong. And all of a sudden he just started having these followers, more than 100,000 followers, and the town started to do things to help raise money for Nolan. They would do the Nolan Strong 5K run to help raise money. Even a barbershop got into it. It says, "Buzz out cancer for Nolan Strong," and they would raise money. And when he would receive letters from people he didn't know, he said, "Oh, these are just my Facebook friends." Or notes from the police department or firefighters, he would just say, "Oh, these are my co-workers." And Mom or Grandma had said that he had the people who wouldn't believe, the unbelievers, begin to believe. He began to bring a sense of greater possibility to the town. And in his fight, he ended up at the Philadelphia Children's Hospital, where the police commissioner made him an honorary police officer. And they got him a uniform, they got him a hat, and they called him Sergeant Roland Nolan. And well, this little guy eventually lost his fight when he was 4. He died in Maryland, in Georgetown Hospital. And so the police department or the fire department from his hometown where his dad worked, it was called Leonardtown, Maryland. They started the funeral procession at the firehouse. And so they brought him out of the firehouse. On the building was that picture of him. And the street was lined with more than 100 responders, so the police and the firefighters, and they all sat there saluting this little guy as they took him through that line of responders, and they placed his casket on top of the fire engine. And they started processioning through town, And behind the lead fire engine were all the fire trucks from 7 different districts of firefighters, and behind them from 6 different law enforcement agencies were all the police cars with hanging on the side of their car, hashtag Sergeant Roland Nolan Strong. And when they interned him at the cemetery, the police and the fighters did the last call. And what they do with that is they hit their radios and they page their fallen colleague 3 times. And when there's no response, they announce that their colleague is not returning from service, that he has served for the last time. And so they say that his last words to his mom were, "Don't cry, Mommy. It's not your fault. I'll be waiting for you in heaven. Mommy, I love you." And little Sergeant Roland Nolan took his last breath then. And so, we've got to face things in our life that sometimes only love can help bring us through. Because kids aren't supposed to go first. It's not the rules we came in here with, and it hurts. But there's something inside of us that is stronger. And our struggle in life comes when we struggle and we wrestle with what is. The struggle is not from what's going on in the world. It comes from our interpretation of what is going on in the world. And it's right to have our heart broken open and to feel and to miss and to wish I would have said. But how am I going to believe and interpret what it is that I'm seeing in life, what I'm seeing in the world that is before me? I get to decide what is going on here and what I want to do with that. And as my head begins to swirl, I get to remember a powerful word that's in our movement or in our philosophy, and it is. It's a powerful word, is. God is. Love is. Spirit is. Joy is. Immortality is. God is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Is means it is. Love is. It's not something you're going to make happen. You're not going to get God to show up and do something. What I must do is to surrender to the isness of the Spirit and the deeper realization that God's not going to make something happen. God already is. Love already is. And when our mind is going with the problems or the difficulties, and there's something in our world that is perceived as a challenge, I get to that quiet place and get my chattering noise of my mind quiet so I can listen to that soul voice to remind me that God is here in the midst of what is going on. Deepak Chopra tells us that in the midst of all sorts of movement and chaos, do not lose your stillness. Don't lose your stillness. So you can remember that love that was given to you upon your arrival. That God is that love. That it is now, that is ever available. And so what my mom used to say, I don't need to wait for the storms to pass. I just need to learn to dance in the rain. God bless us as we all dance together. Hey, let's keep going as we bring Whitney Shea back to our stage.
My goodness, I was just talking to Hollis backstage, and 95 years old, and his wife is 91, and they've been together 72 years. Oh my God. What an inspiration that is. All right. Well, we've got a song that you probably know today. So if you feel like singing along, please do.
When
you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Oh, yes, I will. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when the evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes, yeah, and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Oh, yes, I will. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on your way. See how they shine. See how they shine. If you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Oh, I will ease your mind. Oh, yes, I will.
Hey. That is Whitney Shea. Whew. He's in our mind. My goodness, that's a flashback. back to the 70s, sitting upstairs in my room at home, playing those records on my stereo turntable. Remember those things? Trevor doesn't have a clue what that is, but actually they got them going on now. Have you seen that? Barnes & Noble, Stairway to Heaven, all those, my favorite. Anyway, how fun. What a great song. Touches the heart for sure. This is the time of our service where we pause in it and just connect with that Spirit and that source and just feel the gratitude that, Spirit is a major part of our life. And it's a time where we get to share our gift and support Spirit's work that shows up in our life as Seaside. It gives us an opportunity to know that Spirit shows up in our life in those times of challenge and difficulties. It allows us to be able to remember that when I'm questioning, I can hear that soul voice because I'm continuously remembering to put Spirit first in my life and with my actions. And so this is the time of the service every week where we say, hey, it is time to be in that circulation. As you give, it comes back. It's not why you do it, but that is how circulation works. You step into the flow, you become part of that flow. You become the activity in which the infinite has in your life. And you get to decide what level of activity it's going to express. And so through your actions, you get to know, you get to feel, you get to sense the movement of God, which is infinite. So I invite you to listen to your heart and to give from that place. I want to invite our ushers to come forward as we take our gifts from our heart or our soul or our program or wherever we may have it. And I want to say thank you to those who mail in your contributions when you cannot be here on a Sunday. It is greatly appreciated, as well as those who remember us with the auto tithe, that regular systematic support from your world into Seaside. That regularity is really helpful, particularly going into the summertime. And so I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this is a moment of the divine, abundant download, that we become that very place where the Spirit touches down and enriches and blesses our personal life in those ways that are relevant, whether it's dealing with health, whether it's dealing with finances, whether it's dealing with relationships or family. I know that Spirit begins to take the form in our life when we put Spirit first. It fills that space of concern with a greater realization of God is. God is. So I move within the isness of Spirit, feeling the ease and the grace that comes from knowing that Spirit is my sufficiency in all things. So with joy I give, with joy I receive, and I realize that I am that wonderful vortex through which it passes. And so I say thank you, Father, Mother God, for this opportunity to be in a position in which I can share this love, knowing it makes a difference now. And so it is. Amen. Together let us say this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Those are you guys from Seaside. Woo. So I stand before this bounty, and I can feel the outpouring of love that has moved through each and every one of us. For I stand here before this bucket of overflowing abundance, knowing that it is an expression of the love and the joy and the honoring of the God expression in our individual lives. So knowing that each of us is that wellspring through which that good flows, and it is given in love, it is handled in good stewardship, and it's put forth back into the flow of life, bringing this abundance and good to all that comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to pause and just remember that infinite source as our very expression, and so it is. Amen. This is Nikki Roter. She is one of your board members here, and just truly a joy to work with in so many fun ways. Whitney Shea and Whitney Shea, thank you for handling both spots here this morning. Just love you, and congratulations again on Best Blues Voice in San Diego, voted San Diego Music Awards. So, Reverend Lori Mack, always a joy to share Sunday morning with you. And if you want all of Lori, Wednesday night, Going Deeper service going on right here. And if you want to dance with Lori, her dance card is open. May 21st is that? And come do dances with Universal Peace. So we love you. Hey, giving us sound today is Ed. Giving us visuals today is Marv. Bless you guys, and know there's CDs available right afterwards. And those of you that are home, hey, we know that you're there, and we just thank you, Tim, for once again stepping behind that camera. And those of you that are home, we appreciate you, the love and the letters and the emails and the contributions you share. We're here for you and listening, so don't hesitate to call or write. It means a lot. So there's a lot going on at Seaside, like next Saturday, Ray Holder's holding the men's breakfast right here. So come and be part of that wonderful group. Also, Gourmets for God. That's like the big news that's happening. You heard Tasha. I think Tina's going to be standing back there. We're looking for everybody to just offer their home for a fun meal, and we're going to put that out to bid in a couple weeks and see the magic and the joy that happens there. So have some fun with that. Also, I put on the inside of your program, I put it in there a couple times. I've never really said anything, but so many of you for so many years have been saying you want to go to Montana with me. You want to go to Montana with me? Well, I'll tell you what. I've said yes to participating in a retreat at Big Sky this year, September 2nd, with two wonderful, actually with a lot of individuals, but the main folks is Mary Morrissey. She is a powerhouse. She is an expression of abundance. Sammy works for Mary in many ways. She puts together programs that are all over the place. And Joan Brzezinko, just cutting-edge evolutionary thinker and speaker, and they're going to be at Big Sky Retreat along with Christian. So you go there, sign up, tell them you're from Seaside. You can go as a single. They'll set you up with a room. But I do want to bring it up to your awareness if that's something you want to do. You can ride horses. You can walk in the woods. You can go whitewater rafting, go to Yellowstone. We can do that one day. So... hey, let me hear from our kids. Hey guys, it's Mother's Day. How great that you chose to bring your mom here today. I love that about Mother's Day. So,
I really love my mom.
No, I'll get there in a second. What did you want to say?
I make this.
That is nice. I need to make that for my wife.
Today we talked about like how much we love our moms, like and our family and friends and like our pets, and so we made something for them, and yeah.
Nice. That's a good thing. Talk about how much you love Mom. Did you want to say something?
It goes out here.
Nice. Coop, now get Kane.
She pretty much explained everything.
Oh yeah. Did you just want to say anything else?
No.
No. Okay. Kane, what did you want to say?
Well, we shared our names.
Yeah, you heard your names. That's good ones. All right. Well, hey. What a wonderful team of teachers there. There are 5 of you today. That is great. So anyway, just feel the love. That's spirit. That's what this morning is about. I invite you. Oh, let's say together this love right here for our kids. Together. We see you. We love you. And we support you in your magnificence. Woo! I want to invite any of our religious science practitioners to stand and just join me in this, all of us in this heart space here, and just feel that love that moves in this moment. For there is a presence, and it is profound, it is strong, it is deep, it is a vibration, for God is. Love is. There is a power that is moving in this moment. There's a life force. It's first cause, first breath. It is that something that pulsed us into expression. And there's still that connection. There is this unified field. Love, the peace, the power, the presence, the essence of being. What I know right now, that as I unite with this, as I feel my connectedness into this wonderful ocean of consciousness, that all of us continue to drop those drops of love and caring and understanding and compassion. There's a wonderful sense that I'm not alone, that I am heard and I hear. For there is a presence that is moving in this moment in this sanctuary that today is based on that loving essence. You feel that vibration of love upon which we rest today. That heals. You do not need to tell this what it needs to do, because it already is. And so I surrender the mirage of thinking I need to direct or create or make it through the water or the challenge, but I allow that which is to be. Healing happens. Feel it, sense it. It's beyond words. Feel that. It's a vibration, it's an understanding. It is a soul voice that says the wholeness of one's being is expressing now. Feel that circulation, that vibration, that energy flow returning, purging out anything unlike itself. As that energy moves, as that life force moves, call it what you will or you want, but as that moves, anything unlike it just falls away. It can no longer stick. It cannot find residency in consciousness. It dissolves into the nothingness from which it came, like salt into the water. It is gone. And that life moves. Abundance flows. The well-being of the physical form is. For the presence of God is here now. Take its hand and just say, thank you, God, for this divine realization of the sparkle and the light and the life and the love. Relationships blossom. Success is. Fulfillment is. Whatever is necessary in your world is. For Spirit shows up in a relevant kind of way, and I say thank you. It's in the state of grace and gratitude, appreciation, thanksgiving for the words we have spoken, that they're the truth, that Spirit is expressing as our life force now. Anything that is needed already is, and I let go to this deep knowingness. I surrender my way and become that transparency of the divine way here and now. I let go and let Spirit have its way in this moment. So it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling, make it through another day, yeah. You got to let go, yeah. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit from my life. With my arms open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I'm free and I let go. I let the Spirit from my life. With my arms open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. This I Seaside, let me hear you. That's right. I can't hear you. Great job. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only you for God. Oh, yeah.
And our affirmation for the week is, my life is now filled with love. Together, my life is now filled with love. Touch your heart and say it again. My life is now filled with love. One more time like you mean it. My life is now filled with love. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through choice and through fear. In this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as whether we want. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. 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 Happy Mother's Day, Seaside. Have a beautiful Sunday.